So if your upgrading decision, right, is triggered by an Instagram story, right, pause.
Nope. It's more like a gamble lah. So I think when it comes to upgrading, I think planning for your safety net is super important.
Yes. Over 60%. 60% divided by 4 years. 15% per year. This is your returns. So basically, this is very, very lazy math lah.
Welcome back to another episode of Haikal Titus Honest Truth
HTHT.
So recently in the budget news and debate, there's a lot of news on property, right? So if you have seen recently what we have just announced by the government, a 60-story HDB at Pearl's Hill.
1,700 units.
So this is going to be the tallest HDB in the whole of Singapore. So yes. I think it's going to be very exciting for Singaporeans to look out for this new HDB lah, basically.
Past 40 years in the area, there hasn't been any HDB launched. And the analysts are speculating, right, the subsidy clawback could be as high as 20%.
There is a lot.
But nothing is confirmed. Then also earlier in February, we have the first BTO in Thomson area. Also another 1,600. Past 40 years, no such launch.
And lastly, as what we have over at Toa Payoh West, beside Caldecott MRT, we have also another 1,006 units. So plenty of options for all the BTO applicants out there, Titus.
Then also one news that I think the market is watching is the government review of the 15 months rule, right, for the private property owner. As of yesterday, the update is they do need more time to consider on this review lah.
Correct.
Right, so probably it will be later part of this year or even next year. But this cooling measure was actually implemented in September 2022, right? So Haikal, actually, why does our government want to do a cooling measure?
So I think back then, the HDB prices were really high. I think a lot of feedback on the ground from HDB buyers complaining that prices were very high. And I think the aim of Singapore government is always to make sure HDB is affordable and within reach for most Singaporeans. So I think that is why they introduced this measure to cool down the market and also tighten the market lah, basically.
But now that they are considering to remove this, right, what is it essentially telling us?
So what it shows basically is price has stabilized. So if you have seen the data, I think last quarter there was 0% growth for HDB pricing. So
I think first month of 2026 is a minus 0.1%, something like that.
Correct. So from the government's point of view, so I think the cooling measure has essentially served its purpose, and so that is why they're considering to remove it eventually.
So of course, after they remove, whether the price will go back up or not, nobody knows lah. But one thing for sure is stable and sustainable growth is good for Singaporean.
Correct.
The keyword is stable and sustainable lah, right? But there will always be growth. At what rate, we don't know lah. But of course, what the government wants is at a very sustainable and stable rate. The other thing is the government is also taking back a lot of land.
Correct.
Golf courses, the Kranji, the horse racing area, Turf City in Bukit Timah.
All gone.
And then there's key developments in area like Greater Southern Waterfront, there's a Bayshore area, there's Paya Lebar Air Base, and then there's Marina South. Essentially, what they are telling us, right, is we are taking back this land to build more houses.
Correct.
More houses to cater to the demand of population.
Correct. So I think they are anticipating this growth. So when the time comes, there's sufficient supply to meet the demand, basically.
So if you're confused about what we have said, right, and then you would like to find out and understand about the current market that we are in today, right, you can scan our QR code, get in touch with us, and then we will be sharing with you how we view the market moving forward in 2026. So back to today's episode. We're going to do slightly different today, right? Because I think a lot of content in the market, a lot of YouTube, property YouTubers, influencer, right? A lot of the content, including ours lah, sometimes.
Yes.
We subtly frame that upgrading, right, from HDB to condo to bigger condo to landed, right? This is the natural progression.
The Singaporean dream.
So if you're not doing it, right, it feels like something is wrong with you.
So you're like the outcast, basically.
Yeah.
So it almost feels like the 90s. So if you remember growing up, there was the 5 Cs.
Yeah.
Right, this is very popular back then. I think it was like car, cash, condo, credit card, and your country club. But
Country club.
sadly now
Take
this
back
the country club all gone already. So it's gone. Right. So if you have all these 5, what it means is you have made it.
Yes.
Right. You are at the top, high SES. Right. Like in Singapore, PSLE at primary 6 must do well. They must get into a good school, good university, internship, then get a good salary.
Yeah.
So when your life is set already and you don't follow this route, right, it seems like something is off, something is wrong.
Yeah.
So now for property, is it also something becoming like that, Titus? A similar trend?
So I think what we want to do today is to remove our agent brain. And then we really want to bring our essence of our YouTube series, right, to you guys and say that we talk honestly. Why are people upgrading? And most importantly, right, who should not upgrade lah? Right? There will be groups of people who are suitable to upgrade, but there are also groups of people who shouldn't upgrade lah. So in this episode, we really want to share with our viewers out there the patterns, the behaviors today, right, that we see. Okay, maybe what are the typical 3 groups of people that will upgrade and who will not be suitable for upgrading.
So you provide a balanced point of view lah, from different perspective basically. So the first group of people where we see who are upgrading are basically people who are looking for asset progression. Right? Basically they want to move from their HDB to a condo to a landed. But let's be fair, right? Property is one of the few assets in Singapore that you can leverage safely.
Yes.
Right? You are encouraged to take a loan so that you can use leverage, and there are so many grants out there. Even for ECs, you can still get grants for first-timer ownership, and the message is very, very clear. Right? In Singapore, I think home ownership accessibility is one of the key objectives of our government.
The government wants to make sure that a lot of Singaporeans or most Singaporeans can own a home.
Correct.
So typically for this group of asset progression people, right, they want to have more net worth. You start with a HDB, then you pay down your HDB slightly, and then your flat value gets higher after MOP. Then you sell your HDB, you have a lump sum of cash, then you buy it into a condo, maybe a smaller 2 or 3 bedroom. Then you repeat the whole process, you pay down the loan gets smaller and smaller, the value goes up, you sell again, you cash out, you buy a bigger asset. Then this repeats and repeats over the years. Your asset from 500k become 1 million to 2 million, sometimes to 3 million, or even 5 million, right? Then they reach retirement, which is our plan also lah.
Correct.
Right? Once we hit the retirement age, then we can sell the asset, the bigger asset that we have. Then we fully pay a smaller house, could be a HDB, could be a condo. Then we have a lot of money, a lot of cash. Then we can retire.
Correct.
So I think this group of people is the logical people.
Yes.
Right? No issues here. And this is the group of people that we are witnessing a lot of them coming into the market.
So these are quite logical people. They are looking forward to the retirement and doing planning early lah, basically, right? Right. Then the next group we have is the lifestyle upgrader. Right. This one is more like the Singaporean dream, right? Like you start with a humble 4 or 5 room BTO. Then as time goes by, your career also progress. With career progression comes a higher salary. Then you also have kids growing up. Then suddenly you realize, oh, space matters. Because if you have one boy, one girl, they want their own separate rooms. Then maybe you can have a helper, you also need another additional room. So this is why we talk about space, and environment matters as well. So as your kids grow up, you also want to put them in a place that's good for them to grow up basically lah.
Besides all this, also some of them are looking for an environment in terms of facilities, right? You want your tennis court, you want your swimming pool, you want your gym, or you like to host. You need clubhouse, right? So I think there's nothing wrong with this, but then the critical part of this is the lifestyle upgrader. You must match your financial strength.
Correct.
Right? If not, you are chasing all this lifestyle upgrade, right? Then it becomes a lifestyle pressure, right? You cannot afford, but then yet you want something that is premium, right? And then this puts on a stress on your finances.
And this is the last thing we want our clients to have, because a home should be safe and happy for you. We don't want you to go back home and feel stressed every day. You're like, oh my god, when is my money going to come in? How am I going to pay for the next mortgage? This is something we want to caution all the viewers out there also lah.
So for this group, if you can afford comfortably, you should go for the finer things in life, because after all, we work so hard, must know how to enjoy. Okay, the last group that we see very often, right, which actually they are also a very, very big group, is the group that is FOMO. And this group is super dangerous. Because they are very soft ears one. They hear the friend do something, they also want to do. They hear the friend make 500,000, 600,000 from the upgrade, they also tempted. Then they after that see the news, right? The friend say that, prices going up, like you still don't want to buy. Then they become FOMO, right? And the fear of missing out is the biggest driver. And what happens after that? They just chase, they just want to do something because the friend looks good, right? driving this car, while having this kind of house, I also want.
So I think from what you're saying, this one a lot of emotion, lack of logical thinking.
Yes.
So when this kind of buyers, they feel very emotional, they don't want to feel left out, they want to have whatever their friends have. A lot of things can go wrong, basically, right? Because they don't do their research, they don't do their homework. So I think this is where the danger comes in, when you are just emotional and you make decision very harshly, maybe sometimes.
Yeah. So if your upgrading decision, right, is triggered by an Instagram story, right, pause.
Nope.
Okay, please pause, because this is the exact reason, right, why a lot of people overpay. They chase a false sense of success, right, that I can own something. It's like a symbol, but then without strong fundamentals, right, without understanding the elements of the property market, very, very likely in the long term, they will suffer.
Correct.
So above, right, the asset progression group, the FOMO group, and then the lifestyle upgraders, these are commonly the people that we have seen in the market that's coming to upgrade. For the next part of our video, right, we really want to talk to our viewers out there, because if you feel that we are talking about you for the next part of the video, then please stop and scan our QR code, get in touch with us, because it means that you are not ready. We want to make sure that we will be able to help you and prevent you from making a big mistake. So our QR code, it's somewhere here. So Haikal, who is the first group that should not upgrade?
So the first group, we label them as the all-in group.
Aggressive.
So, what do we mean by this? So basically, when they purchase their next property, they will empty out their whole CPF OA. Then they will also empty out all their savings. Then to some extent, if this is not enough, they will borrow from family or friends.
Normal.
And then last, they stretch, right, until cannot stretch. So sometimes you get emotional, but your financials are not there. They're not strong. So Titus, since you were from the financial industry before joining the real estate, right? So from a finance perspective, what do you think of this?
I think there are many different school of thoughts, because we talk about emergency fund, right? There are people who say 3 months, there are people who say 6 months, there are people who say 12 months.
Yes.
Actually, who's correct? It
No one
depends on your own lifestyle, your own cash flow. But when it comes to property, I think we have to be very clear. We have to think slightly medium to longer term. Yes, the SSD is 4 years, but please don't plan 4 years lah. Plan 6 years to 8 years, right? In our previous video, we have shown a couple who can afford 10 years of mortgage, right, without touching their own personal savings. So if you have not watched it, we put the link in the description below. So back to planning for 6 to 8 years, right? If you can buffer that, right, you know very clearly your upgrade is very strong. However, this is something that we like to tell our clients. Like, we don't just want to plan for the best case scenario, right? Wow, just nice, 48 months, you imagine you lease the property, 2 months later, someone offer you record price. All this is the best case scenario.
Correct.
We have to always plan our finances on the worst case scenario lah. We are not being pessimistic, we just want to be responsible.
Correct.
What if interest rate rise? Can you tahan the mortgage?
Yes.
What if your income drop? What if one spouse suddenly wants to stop working and take a break?
Touch wood.
Right? So if all these things happen and you can still go ahead and upgrade, you are quite safe. But if something like that happen and then you know, wow, there's cracks already, you are not upgrading lah, you are speculating.
It's more like a gamble lah.
Yes.
So I think when it comes to upgrading, I think planning for your safety net is super important.
Yes.
Right? Because I think maybe some buyers, they do not do this. But for all our clients, we make sure we show them in terms of numbers, they have a safety net.
Yeah.
So like whatever you just mentioned, maybe someone accident, cannot work, touch wood, something bad's happened. The safety net is there to help them get through this tough time lah, basically.
Yeah, so like just now mentioned in the previous video, the couple can afford 10 years of mortgage without touching their savings, right?
Yes.
Imagine really something of that nature happen. Right, they have 10 years to dispose the property.
Correct.
Which is very safe lah.
A very long time lah, basically.
Yeah, but imagine you only have like 6 months of savings, then you are forced to accept any price that comes, and likely there will be vouchers, predators in terms of the buyers coming to go and attack you.
Fire sale.
Then you suffer.
Correct.
For the next group of people who we really discourage you from upgrading, right, we call this the show funds manipulator. What we mean by this, right, is because Singapore rules today very healthy lah, right? TDSR 55%.
Yes.
ABSD, all these things, one person only can have one house. If not, you have to pay ABSD.
Yes.
So speculation is largely removed lah. Gone are the days whereby one person can own 5 property lah. Because you imagine one person own 5 property, all highly leveraged. Okay, economy slow down, Cash flow becomes tight, what happens? Forced to sell, right?
Yes.
Then he forced to sell, he will sell at what price?
Low price.
Any price. Can sell, can already. Then the market will drop. So Haikal, what is this show fund about?
So this show fund, maybe not many buyers out there will know. Even agents, they might not be aware of how to do this, right? But if you need professional advice, do get a banker. But I will just explain roughly what it means. So for example, you have a 10k income.
Yes.
TDSR 55%, which means your monthly mortgage is about 5.5k. If let's say you have no other loans lah.
Yes.
Right. Then if you need slightly more, right?
Increase income lah, but cannot mah.
Cannot. You are stuck. But you need slightly more loan to purchase the house that you really, really like. You can show your savings to the bank to consider for increase in loan.
Yes.
This is what we call as show funds. So I think this is where the loophole for show fund lies. Why I say so is because the funds can either be yours or family or friends. So the bank just need to see maybe 1 or 2 times.
Yes.
But this fund can be either yours. If it's yours, it's good.
By right, it's supposed to be yours lah.
Yes, if it's yours means you are capable of repaying the loan.
Yes.
Right, you have sufficient safety net. But if it's not yours, you are just stretching and overstretching your loan. So when it comes to your monthly mortgage, it might be higher than 5.5, but you're not capable of doing the repayment basically.
Because it's very hard to really say that this money is yours or not yours lah.
Correct.
As long as it's in your bank account.
Yes.
So it kind of is a way that they artificially prove their affordability lah. But this is very, very dangerous lah.
Yes.
You are showing the bank something that doesn't belong to you to afford something that you cannot afford.
Correct.
So this is something that we strongly discourage, right? Which is not a show of your financial strength, which is just a financial illusion that you try to create lah, so that you can force your way through. But when the worst case scenario happens, interest rate goes up, income drop, right? Then you have to return your friend the money. Then how are you going to pay for the monthly mortgage of $8,000, $10,000?
Correct.
You cannot ma. Then you will be back to the scenario, you will be forced to sell at a anyhow price.
Another fire sale.
Yeah. Okay, then the third group quite similar, right? What we see is the FOMO group, right? Which very emotional lah. I call this group the monkey see, monkey do lah. Have you met any such clients before?
Actually, I do have such a client. Right, I think 4 years ago, this client came to me, then they wanted to upgrade. So I asked them why did they want to upgrade.
Don't know.
Then they told me it's because their neighbours sold the HDB and then went to buy a condo as well. So they also wanted to explore the same option that the neighbours have done. So this is like what you have mentioned lah, monkey see, monkey do.
Yes.
Right. So there are buyers out there who do this kind of things. Nothing wrong. If you do your homework, you know your financials, is okay.
Yes.
But if you do not know what you're doing and you're just following the trend, this is where it gets a bit dangerous lah, we feel.
I think different people has different objective and purpose ma.
Correct.
So you must know that when you upgrade, there will be trade-off.
Definitely.
Right? Maybe you travel less. Maybe your lifestyle spending less. You
Yes.
go restaurant less because you have more monthly commitment ma. Then for myself, I have seen couples quarrel lah. One want to travel, one say cannot travel because got the house already. So essentially, if you are just seeing the neighbor because everything looks good, right, and then you don't go and talk to your own family about your own plans, there will be a lot of friction eventually lah.
Yes.
So very, very important is don't just follow what people is doing without really understanding your own purpose. Your objective might be different. Staying in a HDB, there's nothing wrong.
Correct.
Right? Going to a condo, also nothing wrong because
Yes.
there might be reasons that people are doing certain things.
Yep.
And the last group of people that should not upgrade is they are under this false illusion of the return of investment property can get. I heard of clients who come to me and say that, Titus, I heard property can get you 15 to 20% annual returns. Right? I was shocked because to me it's,
Very high.
these numbers from where? Right? Then I understand. After a while, I understand how he derived at the number, right? Because it's all about the simple math lah.
Correct.
You buy a $2 million property, after 4 years, you sell for 2.3 million. You make 300,000. Wow.
Not bad.
Then 300,000, you say, hey, 2 million, my down payment only 25%. So I only pay 500,000.
Yes.
I make 300,000. 300,000 over 500,000, 60%.
A lot.
60% divided by 4 years, 15% per year, this is your returns. So basically this is very, very lazy math lah, because this is not the proper way to calculate how you make your property returns lah. It's just headline trying to lure you in. If there's really a 15% returns, right, please let us know. I also want to do something like that because
We also want to get rich.
yeah lah, I mean share, right? Please share. So Haikal, how should we be calculating properly, right, the ROI of property investment?
So I think we have to break everything down as to what it is, right? So down payment, yes, 25%. We also have to include the buyer's stamp duty, which is about 4% to 5%, like, depending on.
So 2 million, around 64,000?
Correct, around there. Then we also have the legal fees.
Yes.
I think it's about 2K to 3K depending on the law firm you're using. So total upfront, if you're buying a $2 million property, the cost is about 567K.
But it doesn't end there, right?
Correct, it doesn't end there. Because you also have to take a bank loan. So we assume during the 4 years, you took a 75% bank loan, which equates to a 1.5 million loan for a $2 million property. Then we stretch a bit, average interest is about 3%, conservative.
So we just be a bit more conservative and say 3%.
Correct. So, but right now I think it's about less than 1.5.
1.6 lah.
Yeah, it's quite low. So interest based on 3% annually is about 45K per year. Over 4 years is about 180K.
Yes.
Right. So depending on how you structure it, this is the estimated lah. Then you also have your exit cost, which is the agent fee.
Yep.
And then your legal fees. So the total cost over 4 years of you holding this property can add up to about 800K. So now the net profit 300K minus all costs, maybe closer to about 120K to 150K lah. This is your real gain.
So your true ROI is very different from the 15% that people will tell you, wow, property can get 15% or even 20%. I really don't know where all these numbers comes from lah.
Because all they do, they hide the costs.
Yeah.
That's why it looks high on the ROI side.
The other thing about property, right, is also it's not just an investment because it's tangible lah. If you are using it for own stay, you can stay in it, you can enjoy it, you can use it, you can build memories in it. Then over time, as you use it, the value of the property grow. So it's kind of like a win-win situation.
Correct. So this is a recap of the whole episode. So who should upgrade Titus? So basically first is those with strong financial fundamentals.
Yes.
Yes. Those with clear purpose. Right?
Yes.
For retirement or whatnot. Those who understand the trade-offs of upgrading. And lastly, those planning medium term and not emotional term. So more of logical thinking lah, basically.
And then who should not be upgrading, right? Of course, we have mentioned those that are going all in, right? Essentially bankrupt yourself to buy property.
GG.
Number two is those who are manipulating the affordability lah, by showing funds that probably doesn't belong to them.
Correct.
Right? Just to get the bank to lend them the money.
Yes.
Right? And of course, those monkey see, monkey do lah, right? You don't really know why you are doing, you just want to follow because your friend did it and then it seems cool, then you just want to follow. And number four are people who really don't know the numbers behind their ROI, whereby they look at the 15-20%, right? They are just very drawn by it, right? And then they just want to do it. They don't do the deep diving and peel the onion to understand the real numbers behind it. So I think the message to sum up today's episode is, right, upgrading is not a need, it's a want. It's not compulsory. If you can, and you know you can, and you want to, by all means, go ahead. But if you feel that you're not sure and not ready, sometimes, right, not doing anything is actually the smartest move.
Yes. Just stay put. So if today's episode gave you a different perspective, do share it with someone who is thinking of upgrading, whether it's your family or friends. And if you want to assess whether your upgrade is strategic or emotional, do scan our QR code and get in touch with us, and we will help you and guide you along the way of this upgrading journey. Thank you for watching yet another episode of Haikal Titus Honest Truth
HTHT. We see you in the next episode.
Bye.